Hello, Michael here with another Michael's Guitar Reviews. And yes, today we've got another bass guitar, and this one is quite distinctive. It's of course a Thunderbird. This particular one's a copy of the Gibson original, and it's made by Epiphone. First of all, I'd like to start at the headstock end of the guitar, and then we'll work our way along. Now, the shape is very distinctive, very unusual. I have to say I quite like it. What I particularly like is the fact they haven't just had a square cut end, but there's a bit of chamfering along the edge, which makes it that little bit more stylish, I think. I want to say something about these tuners. These are described in the catalogue or the online descriptors of these guitars as being premium quality. They're not. They're not. They're cheap and they're not very good. And they're the same sort of tuners that you'll find on the most basic, cheap bass guitar. And yet they've got the cheek to say these are premium. They're not. They don't feel good. I don't think they're going to last very long. They've also, just a point to mention, they've also got a little screw in the end here. Now, if you don't keep on top of tightening that up, it becomes loose, and the thumb part of the tuner will become very loose, or you could even lose it. So just keep up to that. But the quality of these does not feel good, unfortunately. The other thing I want to point out about this guitar that, again, is slightly disappointing, and we'll get the disappointments out of the way to begin with, and then we'll look at the positives. The nut, it's plastic. Worse than that, it's cheap plastic. It's awful. If you're going to own one of these guitars, you want to think about getting some better quality tuners and get rid of that rubbish, horrible plastic nut and put a decent one in. Right, the rubbish bit's over with now. Let's get on to the good stuff. It's got a lovely design. I find it very attractive. It's got a maple neck with a slim taper profile, shallow C profile. This one comes from 2014, so it has a rosewood fingerboard, but the more recent editions, because of the fact that rosewood's been on the endangered species lists, more recent ones have got laurel fingerboards. It's got the usual dot position markers there and the same corresponding ones on the side. One thing I would like to point out about the ones on the side is whoever constructed this guitar in the factory hasn't bothered to smooth them down. So consequently, they're quite prominent. You can feel them when you run your finger up and down. Not a bad thing actually, because if you're playing in the dark or you've got your eyes closed, at least you can find where the appropriate frets are. So you've got the 3, the 5, the 7, 9 and so on. So I guess it could be a criticism, but actually it's not that bad. This guitar's got a mahogany body and it's lovely. It really is lovely. It's a bolt-on neck, and the body itself looks to be made in several different pieces, and it's got this detail where there's a ridge at the side and the centerpiece is a thicker piece of wood than the on either side. Somebody's put a strap lock on here, and they've put it onto one of the neck bolts, which actually is quite a good thing, because for one thing you don't need to drill a hole in the wood, and secondly I think it helps to counterbalance what is actually quite a neck heavy guitar. So having it here just helps to keep it straighter, and I think it's a good idea. It's got twin Epiphone humbucker type pickups, and they are quite thumpy. A lovely Thunderbird embossed scratch plate here, which is very nice indeed. Quite how useful it will be, I don't know, because it depends where if you're picking with a plectrum, whether you're going to be up here or not. But anyway, it looks nice. Usual rotary controls. We've got one for the front pickup volume. We've got one volume for this pickup, and then we've got a tone which is shared between the two. and the jack input just below there, and nicely out of the way, I have to say. The bridge is worth a mention. It's interesting because the fingerboard is of course radiused, and the bridge has been radiused as well to match that, which I like. It's also fully adjustable in terms of height at either end, and also in the centre. There's a bolt there as well that you can adjust to bring the height up or down, and of course each string saddle is independently adjustable with the use of this little screw just here. So you can screw it backwards or forwards to get the intonation just right. It's not a bad bridge. The only thing I would raise as a criticism is you'll notice the ends of the strings just sit in a claw at the bottom there. And it's important really that you get the little ring on the end of the string so that it's the hole's going that way, so it's actually that way, and it fits inside the radiused claw at the back of the bridge, which holds it in place. But yeah, apart from that, it's quite good. The frets themselves, the ends of the frets are nicely finished, there are no problems there. The overall colouring of this guitar, I have to say, is absolutely gorgeous, and you've got access there if you want to get to the electrics as well. So overall, a nice looking guitar, very nice. It has a much narrower neck than many bass guitars. So up here, we're talking really quite narrow, but for some of us, that's a real bonus. It's a nice, comfortable guitar to play. So the next thing to do is find out, what does it sound like? Let's have a listen. Right, we'll start with the front pickup on volume on full, and we'll bring the tone control anti-clockwise to give us a more bassy sound, and we'll turn off the bridge pickup altogether. So here we go, front pickup, bassy sound. Right, let's turn the tone control now all the way around clockwise to give us a more trebly sound, still on this front pickup. Okay, let's turn off this front pickup, bring in the bridge pickup, and we'll start with the rotary control anti-clockwise, giving us a more bassy sound. Right, let's turn the rotary control now all the way around clockwise for a more trebly sound. Still on the bridge pickup on its own. Bringing the front pickup back in again, with the tone control round anti-clockwise for a more bassy sound. So we have both pickups now, but with a more bassy sound. Let's turn that tone control all the way around now, clockwise, for a more trebly sound. Both pickups together. What's the verdict? I think it's a nice guitar. It's a good looker. The woods seem to be really good quality woods. Let down by a terrible nut, very cheap plastic, and let down by these very, very mediocre, if not poor, tuners. So don't listen to what they say if they say they're premium ones. They're not. They really don't feel good. The bridge is fully adjustable. That gives you loads and loads of scope so you can get the intonation just how you want it. It feels nice. It's not too heavy either. It looks like it might be a heavy guitar, but it's not. And the finish is lovely, beautiful. I like the fact that it's got quite a wide range of sounds, from being quite rich, mellow, thumpy, bassy, to being quite a clear and ringing treble sound. So overall, a nice mixture of sounds. Nice guitar. I quite like the narrow neck personally, but some people obviously prefer a much wider neck, so you need to factor that one in if you're thinking of buying one. But overall, a nice guitar. This is Michael from Michael's Guitar Reviews. I would love you to subscribe. Please do. If you subscribe, again, get loads more people on board. Hopefully we can then share the love of guitars around a bit more. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Have a look at some of the other videos. There are loads and loads on my channel now, and they're all there just for us to be able to share and enjoy some of these guitars that are out there now. And if you've got any constructive feedback or comments, I'm always happy to receive those. In the meantime, happy playing. Bye for now. Bye for now.